Hey guys, it's me again and welcome back to the channel. And this is a late post because I had a lot of things to do over the weekend, but I'm still posting this Star Wars inspired build that I have here. This was mainly inspired by these pilot pieces from Gunpla scraps that I have lying around, and I wanted to try and paint them actually. The first thing that I'm working on will be the cockpit area, which is going to be using this scrapped Gunpla foot that I have from a previous project, and it will be where the pilot will be seated. I also rummaged through some unusual scraps for the other pieces or other parts of this pod racer build. Oh yeah, I'm making a pod racer, by the way. Now, I've been meaning to build this for some time now, but I really just didn't have the time to build it before, and I'm very happy that I'm actually able to do this right now.
Bit more money because I was working a job and whatever, and I decided to make the financial decision to do another Warhammer run. And but why still you got?
Now that I'm happy with the pieces that I want to use for the pod racer, I'm beginning straight into gluing the parts to make the cockpit area. So it just so happened, and I was quite lucky that the way this Gunpla foot was cut was actually just the right fit for the pilot figure that I have. And right now it's just adding on to the pieces to enclose the pilot inside the cockpit area with another Gunpla part that will make it look like more of a streamlined cockpit area. The other greeblies that I'm putting on are more of like an aesthetic choice for me to make it look like it has more of a function, and also to bulk up the cockpit area. This part in particular will be intended for the wires that will connect to the thruster engines, and I'm going to bulk it up also and put it underneath the main cockpit area. Now I'm going to cut these pens into a more proportionate size so that the thruster areas will be relatively correct with the main cockpit area. Wait, I think I keep saying cockpit in this video a lot of times, and so bear with me on that. And now it's more of adding this CA glue cap as a greebly, as well as some other pieces to add some more details into the thrusters. These are actually big staple wires from the gun tacker thing that I have at home, and I think they fit nicely as stands for the thrusters. And I also added these ring thingies, which you might see in a previous build in the Happy Meal toy that I have recently. I also placed it here for an additional detail for the thruster intake part, like so. I'm also sacrificing this USB cord and getting the wires inside for more gribblies and details for the thrusters. I have a few of these knob cut-offs from my Gunpla parts, and I decided to also use them as additional raised details for the thruster areas. Lastly, for the thrusters, I'm adding these things. I don't know what they're called, but they will be the part where the electrical connection between the two thrusters will be placed. I was able to get these stiff wires. I think these are offcuts from fiber internet connection somewhere, and they actually provide a stable connection between the thrusters and the main pod or the pilot area. And I'm using the inside wire of a twisty tie for the electrical connections between the thrusters. Unfortunately, I thought I was recording most of my painting sessions, but I actually didn't. And I realized it only when I was already editing the video. So here's just a few highlights of me painting the thrusters and the pilot, as well as the initial part of decals. I also decided to make a base for this, which is made from a scrap piece of plywood that I have available here with me. And after putting some stands area for the pod racer, I put on some sand and sealed it with watered down glue and Mod Podge. And after priming, it's just a matter of adding my choice of paints progressively from this maroon into a orange wash and a dry brushing of some desert sand and yellow colors. Honestly, dry brushing is still a relatively foreign concept for me, and I don't think I have fully been able to do it properly in this project, but I'd like to explore this more in other builds in the future. If you have any tips, or if you know of any videos that are very useful for this, you might want to comment it down in the comment section. It will be helpful not just for me but also for the community. This part is actually an error on my side with the yellow, but I just decided to go ahead and make it look like a streak of yellow dust caused by the thruster area, since luckily the thruster parts will be located parallel to my brush stroke for that one. The painting is done. It's just the final assembly of the pieces that I have prepared and a final top coat for everything. For the pilot and the cover area, I just use Mod Podge because I think when it dries up, it will be effective for the gluing of that parts. But for the thruster cables, I used glue stick or glue gun stick for that one. Video ends, I'd like to once again invite you to subscribe to the channel and support my humble dream of getting to 1,000 subscribers in this journey of me doing a lot of things for the hobby. And with that, it's now time for the final sexy shots and the grand reveal of this piece. Enjoy!